All right, so welcome to week 8 of your microeconomics course. Before we get started, let's just roll through the course schedule. I know a lot of you guys have still been kind of asking questions about the deadlines and stuff, and it's important for you guys to be up on this course schedule. This should be your Bible. I've said it a couple times. Make sure you're not missing assignments. If you see a deadline and it doesn't look like what's on the course schedule, ask about it. I know a bunch of you guys keep asking me about the textbook assignments. They're due the day that they say they're due on the course schedule, and then I give you an extra hour. So if you go on Blackboard, it says it's due. Like if we were to look at the one here, it'll say it's due 1027 on Blackboard, even though it says it's due 1026 on the course schedule. But on Blackboard, it says 1027 at 1 a.m. because they're on a different time zone. Okay. That's fine if you submit it at 1027 at 12:59 a.m. But if you ask me about it at like 2 p.m. that day, I can't do anything about it. You're late, okay? So just be on top of that. I've said it a couple times. You guys gotta play ball with me. I can't be over your shoulder. I shouldn't be over your shoulder even if this wasn't a distance learning class, but it is. So I constantly remind you of deadlines, but you got to give and take. You got to be cognizant of your emails. If you miss a particular email, that's fine. Go on Blackboard, check the announcements. Okay, they're all posted there when you log in. And then the course schedule. I've not made any deadlines earlier than was on the course schedule that I disseminated in week 1. So, just make sure that you're understanding, because I don't want you guys to be missing deadlines for stupid reasons. If you see it on Blackboard due 1027 at 1 a.m., have it by 1027 at 1 a.m. But your best bet is to go by the course schedule. Okay, 1026 at 11:59 a.m. Okay, this is the deadline that I would want. But if it says 1 a.m., I'll give you that extra hour so that you can use that if you're 2 minutes late. Okay, but if you're 12 hours late, that's late. I'm not making exceptions. Okay. The other big thing is, and I've mentioned this 10 times, plagiarism will get you a 0. I've now failed 3 students who, after warning them and clarifying on what the definition of plagiarism was, even though it's already in the syllabus, if you click the link, and saying multiple times through announcements, through email, in the course videos, I said, if you plagiarize, you're going to fail. And they failed because they think it's okay to just lift things directly from Quizlet. And for those people who are watching this video, I doubt it too. Because if you're watching this video, you're probably putting an honest effort into the class. I hope, at least. So don't plagiarize. And one thing to note, and I've said this a few times in the announcements and everything, and it's the RCBC definition of plagiarism that's linked in the syllabus. But plagiarizing includes paraphrasing. Okay, so if the wording of the text says at 11:17 p.m. George Pinnell will be recording his economics lecture, and you write George Pinnell will be recording his economics class at 11:17 p.m. like a barely changed version of that. That's paraphrasing. Okay, that's plagiarism. It's not your answer. You need to write your own answers. Okay, and I get that you can use the textbook, and I want you to use the textbook, and you're expected to use the textbook. Okay, and it should still be in your own words, and that's fine, even if it's in the textbook. And you're paraphrasing. Not that I don't care, but I've been turning a blind eye. But a lot of you guys are still using Quizlet. You're not changing the answers up. You're not thinking about the problem. That's the issue. Okay, if you think that you can speed through it by finding all the answers on Quizlet, which I know that they're there because I've caught 14 people in this class so far. if you think you can speed through and then just, change one clause to be the other order and then use a few synonyms, no, that's still plagiarism, guys. I don't know why you're in college. You shouldn't have to hear this. This isn't grade school. Okay, this is like you gotta use your own work. It's so simple, and I'm gonna fail you. I'm not sending any more warnings. This is it. The warnings have been done. 3 people were out of the class. Okay, and there's no excuse. Okay, you can't say I didn't understand that this was plagiarism, because now I've communicated it at least 10 times. Okay, I'm not playing ball with you guys. I'm not playing around here. You're gonna fail. Okay. That being said, I was very pleased with your midterms in terms of plagiarism. So far, I haven't seen any, which I shouldn't have to be pleased about. That should be the default. But I don't know. I think you guys think that because it's a distance learning course that you can get away with that. And no, I'm not a fool. Okay. So I've noticed I'm fairly certain I've noticed every attempt, and I've corrected the people who might not have intended to plagiarize. I can't be in your mindset in order to say whether you intended to or not. So I've been very generous, but it's not, no more. You're going to get an automatic 0. And like I said, 3 students already did. Okay. This is not how college classes should have. It should just not be a thing. Okay. And for a 3% assignment, like a textbook assignment for like 1 or 2 questions, you're putting your grade on balance, people. So 3% assignment, and let's say it's 3%, and let's say there's 3 questions that you plagiarize on. So 30 divided out of like 150, okay? So 0.2%, so 20% of 3% times 3. So you're putting your grade on balance. You're risking 100% of your final grade to get 0.6%. And let's say you did it for all 9 assignments. So your expected value, if you answer them correctly, if you cheated correctly, because some of you were bad at cheating, like not just bad at not getting caught, but cheating from the wrong sources that are still wrong. Jesus, I shouldn't have to say this, guys. But so assuming that you cheated correctly and then you're not getting caught, you're gaining at most 5.4% of your final grade. And you're risking 100% of your final grade. And I talked to one of the students, the one who actually, cared enough to do the rest of the work in the course. And he's like, yeah, this was a moment I had. This is a wake-up call because I knew what I was doing was wrong and I did it anyway. And, it sucks. I don't like having to fail him. He was a good student, but he broke the rules a few times. And really, I shouldn't have let him break the rules once. I shouldn't have let any of you guys, but I was a little more lenient because I think that some people didn't understand the full definition of plagiarism. Anyway, just be careful. If you're worried that your answer is not unique enough, if it's not, well, no, if you use another source, regardless of whether you have a unique answer, cite it. If you're using Quizlet, just put the link on the Quizlet. I don't care after that. Obviously, don't just put the link of the Quizlet and then copy and paste the answer, because that's not cool. That's still not your answer. But if you use another source, cite it. Number 1. Okay. If you paraphrase from another source, it's still plagiarism. Okay. If you're having trouble with the question, just give it some thought. Like, worst case scenarios, I'm pretty lenient with these textbook assignments. I might take off 2 or 3 points out of 150 if you're like, close. If you've consulted the other source and you give it some thought of your own, yeah, maybe you're off mark. I might take off half for that particular question. But what in the larger scheme of things, it's like just accept that you might not understand everything and don't cheat. Because like this doesn't fly in life. Like that you can cheat and get away with it. You're setting a really bad example for yourself. You're cheating yourself. Okay, and at the end of the day, if you cheat, you're out. Like you're getting a 0 for the course, and all the work you've done to this point will be meaningless. Well, maybe not meaningless. Maybe you learn from it. So I shouldn't say meaningless. But in terms of the grade, which I think is what a lot of you are concerned about, I would think, it would be meaningless. You'd be left with a 0, even if you have 100 in the class to this point. And I'll find you. Like it's just, I'm not an idiot. I have Google too, guys. I can see all your answers, and the second I see and they're like right next to each other. So the second I see an answer repeated, what I do is I go into the textbook, see, oh, is there similar wording in the textbook? And then if not, well, then I think, oh, like this looks suspicious. These two people have the same answer, and it's not in the textbook. So what do, I Google your answer, guys, and I see it. I see it's Quizlet Economics Flashcards Chapter 1. I'm not a moron. I don't like you guys are really bad at cheating too. It's just like a joke. So don't do it. You're gonna get caught. You're gonna get a 0. And I'm joking because it's silly to me, but it's got real consequences. Okay, and I'm not gonna hesitate. At this point, I've given enough warning, so I'm not gonna hesitate. Don't do it. It invalidates my time, the time that I spent putting into this course, and I'm putting a lot of time into this course, more than I've done in any course besides my first semester. Okay, it invalidates your time. It stays on your transcript. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. The opportunity cost of cheating is just way too damn high. Okay, for the 5.4% that you might get. Okay, in a class that has so much 14 points extra credit, just don't. All right. So anyway, good job on your midterm so far. I'm doing them. I'm pleased. Some people had some problems here and there, but I think overall, I think you guys are doing pretty well. I'll let you know what the spread looks like, and then once everything's graded, what I'll do is I'm going to give you like a grades to date. Keeping in mind though, so you're able to drop your lowest of the two midterms in the final. Okay, so if you notice, the midterm grade only counts for 20%, midterms and finals. So the exam grades only count for 20%, and you have 3, and each counts for 10% because one of them gets dropped. Okay, that was in syllabus in the beginning of the class. Okay, so let's say you weren't pleased with your midterm here, and you do better on midterm 2 in the final. Well, then don't worry about it because midterm 1 won't count. But if you did really well on midterm 1, you kind of have a little cushion. Okay, don't use that as a reason to not take the final unless you're like confident you have like the grade you want. But yeah, so like just know you get to drop one of your midterms. Okay. You get to drop 2 of your quantitative assignments. no textbook assignments can get dropped. Pick 2 journals, and then pick any 3 discussion points. This is a big. Oh, so anyway, before I go on to the discussion points, so I'm gonna calculate your grade to date, assuming that you're not dropping quantitative 1 or 2, and assuming that you're not dropping midterm 1. So basically, your grade to date if what you have is what you're going to get graded on. Yeah. And what else? Okay, so discussion threads. So I think 18 of you out of 40 or so have not participated in any of the discussion threads to date. So I know one closes in like a half hour, so you guys can do that, or maybe I warned you yesterday. I reminded you guys yesterday to do it if you haven't done it already. So hopefully you guys have participated in that. If not, that's bad. Like you gotta stay on top of the course. I can only push you so much. I'm not gonna knock on your doors. So make sure that you at least catch the next 2, because if you haven't participated in 1 and 2, all 3 of these are mandatory. You have to pick 3 in the course, and there's 2 left now. So make sure you do that. And keep on top of the discussion post now. If you submitted a journal, all your journals should have been graded. Reminder that you have until 12/7 to submit 2 journals. Don't wait until the last minute, because they're not exactly easy. They're not terrible, but they're not easy either. About on par with a quantitative assignment. You got to pick 2 though. So you still have time to this one. All 5 of them are still. Or sorry, the 2 that have been up are going to stay up, as will the minimum wage one when I post it tonight. So make sure you do the journals before 12/7. Each one is 6% of your final grade, so that's 12% total. Plus, if you do 3, 4, and 5, then you get 2% for each additional one you've done, provided that your answers are on target. Okay, and the journals, for what it's worth, aren't graded they're not graded for completion. So if you think that you can just BS your way through it, you're not going to get any credit. Maybe 1 point out of 6 or 2 points out of 6 tops. If you do a decent job, you'll get probably 4 or 5, and then if you get it within reason, everything looks good, then you'll get your 6. But it is graded for accuracy, but it's not like out of a 100-point scale you get a 96 or something like that. It's like if you're on the mark, you'll get between a 4 and a 6, and depending on how close to the mark you are. So make sure you do those textbook assignments you guys have had for a while. So I think you guys are pretty much on point with that. Except remember, the date on the schedule is the date that I want you to use. Okay. So if it says 1 a.m. 10:27 on Blackboard, yeah, you get that hour wiggle room, but you better have it done by 1 a.m. 10:27. But if you're going by the schedule, you'll never go wrong. Okay. So the highlighted ones are just your upcoming assignments. Okay, so 10:26, you'll have a new midterm 1 solution. You'll have a new textbook assignment. Okay. Also, I'm adding the midterm 1 solutions. Nobody joined, but I think it's because I made the announcement yesterday, so I'm not really surprised by that. Guys, people have been emailing me asking for if there's like additional videos that you can watch, or like additional time FaceTime you can have with me. I've been hosting FaceTime, guys. I've been having these weekly sessions, Wednesdays 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. to 8:45, and I've had a total of 3 students come in the last 4 weeks. So like, make sure you like if you guys are struggling with the material, come on in. I send the link every Wednesday, um, and I've made an announcement. So make sure you guys do that. If you're struggling, like I'm here for you guys, but you guys are suffering in silence, and it's like you wait till the midterm's done, and you're like, oh, I didn't understand that. Can I schedule some FaceTime with you? Like, you guys got to be on point with this course. Like, you gotta be on top of things. I can't read your emails to you. I can't give you guys a phone call. You guys get emails. You guys get videos. That's what I can give you because it's asynchronous. Um, but when I schedule those meetings and nobody shows up, then like, what do you want me to do? I'm bracketing off an hour. I'd stay later if you guys needed it. I'm generally not doing anything at 9 p.m. on a Wednesday night. So like, just just come in. Just go to those office hours every Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 8:45. All right. So just looking ahead, we don't have the next midterm till 11/16. It'll be like the same format, very similar kind of looking. I'm going to go over price controls today. You have a homework assignment that I will post today. It'll be due 10/26 next Monday at 11:59. So just be aware of that. I guess I should highlight this one now. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not accurate. Suppose I screw the course schedule up a little bit. Homework 3 solutions should not be before homework 3 is due. All right, so sorry, I'll make a correction there. I just noticed that should be like this, and we'll be doing elasticity and taxes. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah. So you're getting two more extra credit opportunities. And then it should just be smooth sailing. It should just be, the same kind of stuff that you're looking at: textbook assignments, some journals and discussions. And then you still got 4 more quantitative assignments left. So, cool. Alrighty. So let's get into the actual meat of the lecture now.